crashed. So hopefully we're back. We get a nice desktop here. But with him being like the highest ranked player on their team and their team captain, really just want to see him on some agency. We've seen him kind of on these picks that are really scaling hard carry champions, but maybe something that spikes more in the mid game.
Yep.
Like something like I was kind of saying Diana or like an Akali where like you can really get on the roam. And sure, you're not like the strongest early game, but like that 6 to 11, you can really enforce
the mid
like
game.
Yeah, and if you can get ahead mid, you can really influence the map. So.
No,
and not that the
I
Kog'Maw
agree.
pick is bad. It's just like you have to have the agency of playing around your opponent, which hard countered you.
Yeah.
And that's just an idea. I mean, I am not too familiar with his champ pool, and like Kassadin is a pick, but that's like a level 14 champion.
I think Mega Man just kind of paying attention to the game. I think he did really well because he was pushing the Orianna out.
Yeah.
I think it was just he just couldn't get that last couple of hits to get that kill, right?
Push through
almost to even to spike after that. So, but Orianna was doing really well staying alive though. So that was the other thing. Like
dodging those R's coming down and stuff.
So
that's the biggest thing is where
I think both player skills they're really good right there.
Yeah.
It was just
huge and needed just a little bit more. So if it was the Volibear running in at the right time before an objective, like, and that's the part I really want to see. We see FN play really well where they like get a gank 20 seconds before Dragon, burn summoners, and then they just go right down to the objective and then play around it more. PTC did a much better job in this game playing around the objectives early. We saw him be first at Dragons. We saw him getting the recall from Dragons, but they're just a hair shy to convert those. So we saw the first one go down to like 500 health, and then FN just collapsed, and they just got pushed off. Where they weren't able to just finish it, and like, with not having full information, it's hard to like see why.
But that's the key thing, like you said, full information. FN had really good vision on the map. Whatever objective they went for, you saw 3 or 4 pink wards no matter what. You know, like, doesn't matter.
Win games. Pink wards save lives.
Yes, they do. Pink wards lets you read the whole map.
and push out that vision. You don't only secure vision for yourself, you remove vision from the enemy team. So that's why they're so important and key for taking over, and that's why vision can control games. You see, we saw right there with full one side of jungle vision, your enemy team can't come in safely, and through that.
So the Ashe get picked off because of that.
And then that led into a dragon. And that's the thing. Those things just compound where you lose complete vision control, and then you start getting picked, and then you lose objectives, and then you lose the game.
Lose the game.
But and it's not like it's just the supports don't just ward anymore.
No,
that is
everybody.
So season 4 back in the day where they were literally just
they're still thinking about that this season as well too, man.
That's true.
No one helps the support ward, and support can only ward 3 times.
Yeah.
But there's 5 players.
And you could really see the difference on between those. So warding, we talk about it almost every week. Warding's a team thing. You can't ward by yourself, because supports are usually squishy. So if you just walk into the jungle like, I'm gonna ward this, bam, you're dead, and there's no ward. So you really have to team up, and I always like talking about teaming up. So you like to see like the jungler mid team up and get deep wards, support with jungle or support AD carry. You can't just go by yourself, because then you leave one exposed.
Correct.
If you go together, you're much stronger and much more safe to get those deep wards, and you don't always need deep wards. Deep wards are like a luxury. You need the standard wards, and then if you're ahead, we saw FN push that line of vision.
They did.
You kind of start in the middle. You start with a
there.
50-50. Everyone like gets vision here, but when you get ahead, we saw the mid lane tier 1 fall. Then your vision line gets to go up 1, and that's how you really control and snowball your leads of games. And we see we're going into champ select here. Maybe.
Trying to get into it. And
there
here
you
we go.
Perfect. So we see Jarvan and the Aphelios first ban. So and that was kind of
that was called for.
Yeah, we saw it get left open because Deadpool was the only Aphelios player in our league, and then Unlimited Ninja snagged it and popped off. So the Kog'Maw and Syndra banned here with TF. So a lot of mid lane bans, assuming Kog'Maw's pretty much a mid laner now. I've seen it in the bot lane, played AP and AD, so he's flexible, which is cool. The more options champions have, even better. But So mid lane really getting pinched. I'm interested to see this last ban. What's going to go. Support is much more open this game. So Morgana was
come through
banned, and Ezreal. So we got 2 ADs and 3 mid laners, and then the jungle. So Rek'Sai has kind of been that second.
So Set comes through. He
was banned last game. So that's a top jungle support flex pick. Very flexible champion and very strong in all roles. New champ, by the way. Very useful in many roles. We have seen Megan Foxy play it, and be pretty good on it.
Really well.
Expect that in the top lane as of right now, but could be changing. And we see the Ashe hover here. Unlimited Ninja considering that pick. I don't know if it'll be Miramana, but
I like I said, I'm surprised by it, and I still have yet to see someone show me how well it plays.
The thing I'm thinking of is, so Kai'Sa kind of has a similar Q where you hit many targets and it applies on hit effects, just like Ashe's Q does, how it's like the multi. If each of those apply the Miramana passive, it's probably pretty good. It does a lot of damage, but to get to there, it's rough.
So Olaf comes through.
Yeah, Olaf comes through.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen that, especially in this.
Right.
And so the traditional counterpick to Olaf, Trundle up. Trundle is very, very strong. But Jhin hovered here, and Jhin with the pick. Jhin really fell out of favor for a long time. But I have seen him getting picked in LPL, and I don't know if he has the numbers to back it up win rate wise, but he's a very exciting ADC to watch. The fourth shot is very cool. I think Jhin is one of the best design champions, where he's very fair. He feels fun to play against, fun to play.
So we pick up the Morgana for the support.
Comes through.
Or maybe mid. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Mega Man Zero did pickle.
Yeah. And he's been early picking mids.
The Bard comes through.
Bard hovered. Bard's good.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Scary, so, but I do assume this is Morgana support, and it has been banned so much by FN. They've been we saw it ban both games last week against THE and in game 1 here. So that's a big pickup, and it kind of prevents Super Thig from doing his thing. We've seen him 1v9ing these games. Morgana really counters all the CC Bard ults. You just put the Black Shield on your carry, and you go golden, but sometimes that's not the worst thing as Morgana. But as long as your Jin's safe, you're chilling.
You're chilling.
So Azir banned here by FN. Afraid, and that's kind of like that hyper carry. I want to see Mega Man Zero on a hyper carry that's more initiative. So he has the power to take over the game. Shurima Shuffle, something like that, can really just take over the game. So that's a good ban by FN, and it's countered by the Orianna. We saw Orianna just absolutely pop off last game and really just control team fights so well.
And he did, and who was a burn victim used Orianna in the last game
he played
last
very
week's
well.
game very well too.
And then Cassidy with the ban. We know Mega Man Zero is a big Cassidy player, so that hitting the bans is not a surprise. This mid lane pool is just getting pinched and pinched. So
and the Corki comes out. See, that's okay.
Even another ban. So I'm interested to see where they go. This is like tier list is just getting cut down.
Hey,
Singed.
It's being hovered, though. Come on. It's being hovered.
I know Bearson isn't a Singed player, and it makes me sad. I try to talk him into it, but I'd be really surprised if this gets locked in. I'd probably pop off, but...
Aatrox.
Sad day. He really waited till last second. But Aatrox.
He's trolling you.
Aatrox is kind of the standard blind pick top laner where he does so well. But Wukong coming in here, I'm interested to see if that's jungle or top lane or even mid lane. I mean, that's a very flexible pick, and with the set still not having an assigned role, still flexible. So we'll see what the last pick here. I'm gonna guess Wukong jungle.
Right.
But I really like Wukong in the soul.
Okay, so LeBlanc mid.
And that's the kind of pick I want to see here. LeBlanc can really get on the map after 6. Oh, but Galio is no fun.
Is going to be no fun.
I was just going to talk about how LeBlanc was going to be really able to enforce her power on the map. Oh, Lissandra's another
not bad.
Very good pick into LeBlanc, but Mega Man Zero still should be able to affect these side lanes more than in the previous games. Kog'Maw is not a champion who can get on the roam. He really just wants to sit and scale. And we see Wukong jungle as of right now. Oh, nope. I lied. Set jungle.
Okay.
And these are switchable. Wukong's a very good laner. He's very strong. There's a lot of damage. He gets
Double
2 ults, which is cool. A lot
more like a triple ult because of his clone
does
can
it
ult
too.
too.
Yeah, that's the best change they made. His clone felt so bad before, but now that
his clone didn't do anything before. All it did was a spin in a circle.
Yeah,
that was
it looked cool. But now he actually attacks and does damage. So interesting to see how this is used. And I'm not familiar with the Wukong Aatrox matchup. I'm sure it's even. It seems like it would be a skill matchup. So,
it would be. It's just it all depends.
And then Olaf, a very good power farmer. I think jungle is favorite FN, but and then Lissandre is obviously the counter pick to LeBlanc. I don't think either of them kill each other in lane, but both of them can hit the map evenly. Right. So interesting to see if they match the roams or if LeBlanc hits a roam, or Lissandre pushes, or vice versa. Because the Claw is very good at getting into, especially bot lane.
Yep.
I like to see Lissandre on blue side because you can go over that Tribush ward, or Tribush to get to bot lane. That's like the Rek'Sai path. But Lissandre can do pretty much the same path to get into the back line.
Yeah.
But LeBlanc, very good. I really want to see Mega Man Zero hit the roam, get a lead.
I haven't seen him hit the roam in the last couple of games that he's played. He's been stuck mid the whole time.
So I think that's going to be their win con in this game.
Yep.
I think their team comps drafts are very even.
Very fighting oriented on both sides.
But we do have the Bard. Bard popped off, and he was just a huge hyper carry in the last time we saw it. So I'm interested to see if we see Super Thick just take over this game. Say
again, he took over the last game too.
Say sorry for leaving my Bard open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I proved it last week that this wasn't going to make it through select.
Yeah.
So that could definitely happen, but. Morgana is a big pick into it, which wasn't banned, but we've seen it banned. So I wonder if that's just like a preference. They don't like playing against Morgana, or if they're these players. I know Storyteller on THE is a huge Morgana player, but I'm not too familiar if Big Lots. Lols?
I think it's Big Lols.
Lols. Big Lols is a big Morgana player or not. I know he plays more of Engage and stuff like that with the Aphelios, but that's a huge pick. I like Jhin. Jin's one of my favorite champions to watch.
I like Jhin. So I hate playing against him, though, too. But
he does a lot of damage. I'm hoping to see him pop off this game and really control this bot lane. I want to see LeBlanc make her way bot lane, leave top lane on an island, play around bot lane, and really just get this Jhin to where he can be. But yeah, I do really like the draft for both these teams. If I had to pick draft, and traditionally we've seen FN play super clean, especially in these kind of team comps. These are kind of like their team comp, like picture perfect team comp. You got Burn Victim on a strong scaling mid laner that can not only get to the back line and be like a threat, but also like kind of a supportive. We saw him on the Orianna. We've seen him on these hyper carries too, but I think he's like the best on picks like Orianna
really
or
good with the
Lissandre, where he can control and help his team do better. And then the Ashe, kind of the same thing. The one thing is the damage on FN is on the lower end. Where last game they had the Aphelios, which was kind of like their get out of jail free card, where they could do whatever they wanted, and as long as he was alive and popping off, he could carry the game damage wise.
I agree.
This game, Ashe doesn't have that same oomph as Aphelios, especially in the late game. She does good damage, good sustained damage, but she doesn't have that big burst. Like Jhin fourth shot has that big burst. Even Jhin ultimate can do that big damage. Ashe is really good if you DPS someone down, which will probably end up being the set. She does that very efficiently. So
their team comp seems like it's their typical their typical team comp like they usually play. Like play from wait for a late game
and front to back. Aatrox is kind of I think one of like the best champions for team fighting in that way, because it's not a tank. It's not like you don't do damage. He still is a threat, and you can't ignore him. Whereas like a Maokai, if he gets to the back line, like you can kind of say, oh, just like he's going to root you and knock you up, but he's not going to kill you. Aatrox, if you don't deal with him, he's just going to kill your back line. And that's the big difference between these tanks, where like Ornn used to be, where he was kind of like an assassin, where you had to deal with him, and that was why that's why he was such a problem, because he could not only knock up your whole team, but he could 1v1 your AD carry if you didn't peel him. And that's kind of like Aatrox. He serves the same purpose, where you have to deal with him, and you can't just leave him unchecked.
No.
And Wukong does the same thing. So these bruisers the bruisers are kind of evolving where traditionally I always think of like Darius, even like Olaf, Trundle as these bruisers, and they have to like go through
the whole team.
Yeah, the whole team to get to the back line, whereas Wukong just goes invisible and knock up, and those kinds of bruisers are much more difficult to deal with. But both teams have good ways to play around it because they both have access to backline. So
reverse seems like PTC is going with the typical 5-man.
Yep, and FN on the red side. Red side must just be the team that wants to invade.
That's what I feel like, yeah.
And it's been working. We haven't seen any real punishment for it, and that's the big thing. I'd like to see, because these teams do a lot of the same things, just someone counter it. Just go stand in a bush as 5 people. If someone face checks you, let's see a level 1 5v5.
Just do it.
But obviously playing safe is always good. And with FN having the stronger level 1, Bard's really strong. Ashe is incredibly strong at level 1.
Bard gets out the 2-man stun.
Yeah, and Olaf. So obviously PTC not one to take the fight. This is a really nice Ashe skin too. Man, we've got some really cool skins.
That's the high noon Ashe, man.
It's high noon.
Yep.
But wrong game. Sorry. Yeah, all these new skins are pretty cool. And this LeBlanc, wow, they're just showing off. The spectators
Have you not been playing for a while? Or what?
I play. I guess people just don't spend money in my games. But yeah, these skins I haven't played in like a week, I will say. But I think these are all pretty new.
Good trades in the mid. Not too bad.
And I don't think anyone dies 1v1 in this mid lane. But
that's
Bard
a
with a
good
huge
stun.
Q.
Yeah, that was huge.
We saw big lots. With the return Q, just be a little off, but yeah, if this Bard is able to take over this game, I'm scared for Deadpool Gambit because we saw how great Super Thig was last week with this pick.
Even on Legit Campbell's main, the Caitlyn, he still did amazing against that.
Yeah, and he made him. He punished him. He just played it really well. And we see a nice stack here. Wukong getting it pushed in. Let's see if he cheated recalls. This will be the test. So he could back here and get like.
I think he'll stay.
Yeah, he could get like a long sword or something. He can't buy anything crazy, but he's not really losing anything if he recalls, and that's something that you don't see a whole lot, but or just even a pink ward. But you see the jungle reset, and did he drop a ward? I don't know.
No, he didn't.
He just kind of.
I thought he was going
to
be. Yeah.
And we see Olaf coming in. Oh, Aatrox's missing the Q. I don't know if he has W yet. He should have it now. And
he's gonna go for the.
Yep.
He didn't force the flash. That's not too bad.
Yeah, he didn't.
He got the Q. Oh.
Yeah, if Aatrox lands the Q, he's probably dead. Yeah. And he didn't. And we see LeBlanc going in for a 1v1 here. Burn
force
victim.
the flash.
Yeah, he's gonna
live
survive.
Through that. Yep.
But this is a big trade because he's going to want to stay because he's going to lose Caddy here, and that's a huge XP at the level 3, level 4. He's going to have to burn TP and no flash. Look for the repeat gank and look for Set to just kind of set up a tent here. Olaf coming has to escort LeBlanc, not LeBlanc, Lissandra, so she doesn't miss all this XP, but looks for Set to just punish. Lissandra is mobile, but she has to wait for the claw, so it's half mobile because it's not like an instant dash or a blink like most mid laners have. She has to throw it out and then give it a second. And then she does have Aftershock here, which should help. And I wonder if Mega Man Zero was able to land a chain or what started this. That bad trade. So he must have landed a chain and then just chased him down through the claw. And that's why LeBlanc is. I really liked watching LeBlanc. She's flashy. She makes everything happen. And we see Jig and Jag caught out here a little bit, but he should have flash and be able to get out of here free.
But he forced it out.
Yeah, forces the flash.
He got the scuttle though.
That's
important. He got double scuttle.
He got double scuttle. That's
so
a huge
top
XP.
And,
so
he's huge for him.
He's probably up 3/4 of a level right now.
And plus it prevents the early dragon take as well too.
And that's what Olaf really wants to do. Olaf is stronger. He's probably one of the best 1v1 at this stage of the game. Up until like level 8, 9, he really outpaces. And although Set can duel most people, Olaf is someone you do not want to scrap with. When he gets low health, he just heals so much. He gets that bonus attack speed, everything like that. So being able to double scuttle should give Set more agency. And he's going to go Wolves, Wraiths, and I expect gank mid, but you never know.
Because there's no flash mid, so you should be able to come in for the reset.
Yeah, he should go for the regank, and there's no wards down right now. The only ward is down on the Wraiths. So if he passes around and he goes for Wolves, gets the back, and he should be looking mid. The only problem is there's not a really good setup for like the sets stun. I think the timing is if he does that while Lissandra's throwing the claw, she can still. It doesn't like CC.
It's not like a stun.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It doesn't CC her long enough where she can't. She misses the end of the claw.
Right.
So as long as she's not super early on it and he can like cancel it, she should still be able to dodge it.
Yep.
But LeBlanc able to chase her down. I really hope we see a regank here and not just leave it unpunished. Because that wouldn't be fun.
That would, it would not. It would not.
Yeah. And we see the top scuttle. It is going to be a mountain drag first, so not a mountain soul this week at all. We got fire for the Fire Nation last game.
Yep.
Maybe water will help put them out.
Hey, we might get fire again.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, and I like more damage. So, seeing just some real CSing here, and this is another game where Bearson has just really opened up the CS gap. We saw him up. But
what?
He was like skating there today.
Yeah, I think I saw like a little bit of lag right there or something.
Hey, I think it's spectator bug with Hex Flash. I think that was.
Oh, yeah.
So and Bearson could set up the freeze here if he's interested, but I think he wants it back. So he's just going to push up. He's up 20 CS. Playing very well. Everywhere else pretty even. LeBlanc with a couple creep lead, but Lissandra should catch us on the way back. And we see a triple crab.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what.
He's doing better this game.
Yeah.
Like controlling the jungle a lot better.
Yeah. And
showing a little bit more presence than he usually would. So he's doing. Jig and Jag's doing good.
And you can't always affect the lanes.
Right.
But if you aren't able to affect the lanes, you want to at least affect the jungle pacing.
Correct.
And he's been doing a much better job this game than last game at affecting the jungle pacing and at least staying on the crabs.
Correct.
And with LeBlanc being ahead and a little bit more agency, that helps too. You always see people type jungle gap, jungle diff. When they have 3 losing lanes, it's like you can only do so much when all lanes are getting pushed in and you have no control. So asserting this early, especially when the game is kind of more at a stalemate, is much better to see. And I want to see what the first item is on the Jhin. Is it going to be the Storm Razor, or is it going to be and Mega Man Zero getting a nice freeze here, and Jig and Jag going over. I think that was Envision. That was a
I got him because the minion
creeps
was right
are
there.
pulled to that side. But Burn Victim has to respect this. He has to respect that Jig and Jag's in the area, and he still doesn't have flash for a couple more seconds.
That was a nice stun.
Yeah, and that's why the counter pick is if LeBlanc goes in and gets the distortion damage, Lissandra can root her and kind of ignore some of it. And the key there is the Aftershock. Aftershock's so good. They did nerf it because it scales off of like your. It doesn't just give like it doesn't give just off of your base. Before, but it's still very good and helps cut down those.
So there's they have no vision of Dragon, and Olaf's just gonna take it for free
right under their nose.
And they have they have Prio too.
Yeah, they have mid and bot
Prio. That's harsh.
Yeah, and losing Dragon with 2 Prios is definitely a feels bad moment.
That's rough. Oh man, I know I've done it myself.
It happens, but
I've done it myself. That's a nice, good pick.
And. Yeah.
Okay. I thought he was gonna go for it.
I thought he was gonna die there, but
I thought so too.
So we see the Jhin W land into the Morgana Q, which is great synergy. But
Bard did hit 6 first before Morgana, though.
Yeah, and he threw the ult, and then they kind of disengaged when they had kind of an advantage position. I think they weren't really sure with their damage output. But we see First Blood solo kill.
Nice.
Wukong getting the solo kill there. We weren't up there, so we aren't going to be able to get a replay of that. But and it exploded the computer last time. But I'm just kidding. He probably hit 6 and got that double ultimate, and Bearson maybe not knowing the damage output or thinking that he was a little safer than he was. That's the thing with Wukong. He has the Executioner's Culling, which really is good against Aatrox. It is going to delay his first item, which I think Wukong's are still going Blade, and we see LeBlanc really getting on here and helping. And that's the thing.
She's
helping,
a lot more active than what she was in the last couple games.
And helping the jungler keep the
nice.
And we see Flash. She doesn't have much mana. I don't know if and he cancels the claw.
It.
Very nice played. we see Jig and
timed
Jag
it just right.
And Lysandra didn't have much mana, so she probably wanted to either self-ult there or use her root so she could get Aftershock and get those extra resistances. But she only had mana for the claw. So she chose to use it, and Jig and Jag waited.
Yes.
He used the Facebreaker and then waited until the claw was over the wall, and then suplexed her so she couldn't recast it. So that was really well played.
Really nice.
Really clean by Jig and Jag and patient.
Yep.
A lot of people just use that ultimate right away, and he played it right.
Hoping for the kill fast.
Yeah, that was the only way she gets out was to take the claw over the wall. She didn't have time to walk and flash it, so he played it really clean.
Missed the cannon.
Yeah. Missed the cannon. Shake my head.
But
we see a really messy fight here. We see it. Deadpool Gambit really pushed up. I think they were
kill.
Yeah, Morgana picks up the answer kill. I'm interested to see how Bard got behind him. I think he looped around and portaled Olaf in, because that was a really odd trade, because when we got there, Jin and Morgana were just in the middle of 3 people, and Bard still had ultimate, so it's not like they ulted to set that up. And Wukong's taking the 1v1 here, and he is strong side, so he definitely wants to try and check this trade, but and Aatrox just lands the W and gets the pullback, and that's why he's so good and such a good safe pick. But he's playing a little aggressive here. He's going to get the Herald dropped, and that's just going to be a couple plates, but it's not at that 3-plate threshold where it's going to be first tower. So probably just a little gold. I don't even know if anyone's going to get the local gold for that. That's kind of griefing, I'm not going to lie. But so no one got the plate gold there. So it really just
the plate gold still goes to the jungler.
Does it?
Yeah,
okay.
because the jungler activated the
coming.
Yeah, it
down.
still goes to the jungler.
But you really want that to go to the Wukong.
Yeah.
At least share it with the Wukong, because Wukong's kind of where your strong side. Wukong and LeBlanc are your points of power right now, and you want to play around that. Jin's doing fine, but they just lost a 2v2. They did trade kills and get one back on the Morgana, but the kill on the Ashe is much more advantageous. And we see Ashe going for the blade this game, a little more conventional. And
the Wukong's really, when you said, like, I forgot, the Wukong's more of the power pick.
Yeah,
right?
strong side,
but Wukong's way behind on that farm right there.
Yeah,
I'm just looking
that's
at
weird.
it.
And he did get this 1v1 solo kill,
thing.
but he's down 30
so,
CS. So if that gap was closer, maybe he could look to carry. But even with the solo kill, we see Bearson having a completed item to his. He did have to get the Xyz, but he just has the Tiamat. And the Black Cleaver is a huge power spike for Aatrox. And
huge amount of damage right there.
Yeah, even after getting solo killed, still has a decent lead. So and I think a solo kill is 18 19 CS worth of gold, so he's still up like another additional kill in CS. So that's something to keep in mind. Even though your teammates are getting solo killed, CS is still important, and we see kind of an engage here. And we look at, and with Dragon coming up here in 13 seconds, they did go mid and try and burn some CS, get a little bit of a chunk, and that's what we were looking for from PTC. And we see Bard with the ult here.
Double stun.
Yeah, and no black shield here, but lands the counter Q, and we see Jig and Jag kill
on the Bard.
Super thick, going down, and Wukong comes in. Are we going to see American Sniper here? Into the suplex and sets it right up for the Jin.
That was really good.
Yeah, really well played.
I do have to say that. That was really good.
Right as Dragon spawns.
Yes.
So they're going to get this Infernal Drag, and we're not going to get Fire Dragon Soul. No. So is it going to be Ocean, or is it going to be Air Drag? Please, Ocean. Hey,
and it's Ocean.
Yay.
Nice.
So we do have something to play around, because if it's Air Dragon, it's kind of loses its effect as a win con. But Ocean Dragon Soul is very strong. So we see 1-to-1, and PTC has been very, very good on the map here. We've seen them working a lot more as a team, and with that, it's empowered Jig and Jag to get those scuttles, get that pressure, get that momentum, and with mid-prio, they've looked like a whole different team, honestly.
Yep. But is it going to make a difference? The reason why I say that is because their top lane is very far ahead in the farm, has a more completed item, and, like we said before in the last game, he scales a lot better.
Yep. And Jin is no more mobile than Ashe and Kog'Maw was, and we saw how detrimental that Aatrox was to the backline last game, and now you got a Lysandra flying in too.
Right. We'll see. They're doing really well.
Yeah,
right? They're doing really well, and that's awesome. And I want to see them continue that. They just can't fall behind. They got to keep this momentum going.
And
that's what
or
they have to
even.
do.
I think they scale evenly with Jin, but if they fall behind, I can see this game getting out of hand very quickly. And they've been doing a good job shutting down the Bard. Last trade,
they did really well. Yep.
Morgana got Bard ulted, and I was kind of questioning, like, oh, she didn't Black Shield, but she was fine. She had the jungler coming in, and they set it up really well. She was probably saving it for Jin or someone else, because she's like, well, I can take a little bit of damage, and if I do fall low, but we see the flash burned by Jin. Maybe Morgana might have been out of range for the Black Shield there. She was going to clear the ward at the same time, super thick, and that's really good communication. Just seeing the ward being cleared and saying, she can't Black Shield right now. Let's use the ultimate. Let's go in and try and get a pick here, because that's really what FN needs. They're kind of playing on the back foot here, and this is exactly what we wanted to see from PTC, was see them get on the advantage and put the pressure on. They can't sit and scale. They have to bring the game to them.
I think FN got first tower, top tower.
Oh, yep.
So
Aatrox gets solo gold on the first tower against the flow of the Rift Herald. So, that's no good. But we see him a little bit overzealous here. He's looking kind of for the pick on Jin, but he's kind of caught out. And if Jin can land the W here, he does flash,
and ulti,
and he gets all that. And I like to see PTC not over chase. Sure, he's exposed, but he flashes, he pops the R. The odds you kill him are pretty low. So now they're just going to use that advantage. They have the ult on Wukong. They have their whole team here. Get the Rift Herald, use it to set up some momentum for the team.
Just get at least one tower down to get even.
I really like to see this Rift Herald used in the mid lane. They've had mid prio. Opening up that mid lane tower is so good, especially with the LeBlanc. And we see the Lissandra flying in. The Black Shield was really great on the Jin, keeping him alive. And we see Aatrox being an absolute beast. No ult needed. But Jin is still Jin's still healthy. So look for a little bit of a turn here and gets the double kill. Is it going to be a penta? Nope. Oh my goodness, that was a lot more. Oh, Quadra!
Here we go.
Penta kid! Oh!
Really?
Mega Man Zero says, yoink, I'm taking that one.
Deadpool man, that was very well played by PTC.
He's typing FF in all chat right now. He is mad about the KS. But so they played that really well.
Yes.
Jin got Bard ulted, and it kind of protected him from the Aatrox in the backline. And that's the problem with Bard. You see Bard be so disruptive, but his ults can kind of protect people too. So Aatrox got into the backline, was so disruptive, and LeBlanc was weaving in and out with distortions, doing a lot of damage. And I kind of said, is this going to be the penta as a joke? But Jin was full health, and everyone that could kill him was dead. And he weaved very well, avoiding the Lissandra ultimate. And there was a great Black Shield in the beginning of that fight to protect Jin. And that's really what...
that's what really kept him alive.
He avoided the Ash Arrow stun. And almost and a penta was taken from that man.
But they're doing, like I said, this is a different game. Totally different game for PTC. They're actually using
their prio very well, and that's what Jin can bring. He's a very strong laner. With that fourth shot, you can kind of dictate plays around. And Jig and Jeg has seemed like a whole new player in this matchup. He's been, and we saw him getting in the backline, being disruptive. Whereas last game, he really wasn't able to do that on the Volibear. And I don't know if that's just comfort or what. But we saw Aatrox really start off that fight well. But double stun here. But the flash going to be burned. And man, this Bard is looking good. Good in the neighborhood from Bard, our good friend Bard. He's just taking over team fights, and like I said, he kind of is.
He's doing what he has to do in those. He's forcing those.
And sure, he did protect Jin for a little bit of that last team fight, but other than that, he's been playing very well. And sorry, my cord got a little messed up from me screaming about the pet. I got a little hypey.
Playing for this dragon.
But yeah, the dragon here, and kind of what we said before, they're in the area, but after a potential penta kill, you would think they would have the advantage here.
And FN, dragon goes to FN.
Yep, and we see Wukong get a nice engage, and no one's on the Jin. Is he going to be able to? Oh, but I lied. Aatrox, Big Daddy Aatrox is on the Jin, and this is what he wasn't able to do last fight because he kind of got peeled off after the Bardald wore off. In that fight, he was just able to run in, and I don't know if Morgana didn't get the Q on him or what.
Morgana, I think, came around because the Morgana Q, didn't get on because she came around to Black Shield the set.
Gotcha. So, the much cleaner team fight from FN, and we saw Jin initiate it with ult, and those kind of team fights are so hard. And after getting a Quadra, almost pentakill, you would want or kind of expect PTC to have the inside track on that Dragon, and that's why I was so confused on how, because if FN is able to get to a point and hold it, their team is very strong.
Very strong.
Running into a Bard, running into a Lissandra, running into an Aatrox, and is no fun. You want them to kind of have to run into you as playing the Morgana, Jin, set Wukong. And if they hold the position, they're actually stronger because Mega Man Zero can get on the flank and look to get an advantageous
advantages.
Flank. Yeah, well, I can't talk. I can't talk today. But if LeBlanc can get a flank and get onto these backline members, because realistically, Bard can use the ult to initiate, but it's not as good as a disengage tool.
Right.
Whereas if LeBlanc gets to the backline and gets on this Ashe before the team fight starts, it is very good for PTC, and that's much easier if FN is forced to run into a Wukong, because you do have those counter engage, and Jin just popped off. He just had a penta kill.
Oh yeah, penta, I guess. Yeah, almost.
KS'd penta.
But the thing is, when that last play, LeBlanc was coming all the way around while the rest of the team was just forcing that fight. Couldn't wait for LeBlanc to get there. So they were a little patient, even though, yes, they wanted the Dragon, but just a little patient on that team fight.
Yeah, and that's why having the established position is so important, because you can give it LeBlanc that time to get to the flank. And, and that's really what LeBlanc shines at, is getting to the flank and really just popping off. So she is very strong, 202, and she even goes with the Oblivion Orb. Now, Oblivion Orb is a very strong item. It only builds into Morella Namicon, which numbers-wise is not the most gold efficient, but even into this, Lissandra has healing, Olaf has healing, Aatrox has healing, Bard has healing, and with the Blade of the Rune King, 5 healing. Morella Namicon is probably gold efficient, but Oblivion Orb gives a very good burst. So maybe she'll sit on this and go towards her next item, or she might finish the Morella Namicon. But LeBlanc's power does fall off in the late game, so sub 30 minutes. Her one-shot potential falls off unless she can get strong. So you really look for PTC to kind of grow this lead. They are actually behind, but they have the kill lead. If they can grow that a little bit more and even the gold, LeBlanc will feel much better, in a much better position. And all this gold lead is pretty much from CS. Yeah, we see the only CS winning side is going to be in the mid lane for Mega Man Zero. And yeah, that's how she goes sometimes. But I don't know if FN knows they're up, 3K. It probably feels like a much closer game, like they're probably feeling like it's even. Sure, they have a little bit of a CS lead, but they're down in kills. But just with how the players are playing, because sometimes if you know you have a 4K gold lead, you might try to push a little harder, but they might be playing a little safe because they think it's a lot closer of a game.
I do have to give Barasan a lot of credit just because of how he's played the last 2 games, because he's either even or ahead of top lane.
Yeah,
and then with items, he's the same way.
Yeah,
and
he's been
very well. Really.
And he's been kind of the initiation.
Initiation for that. Even though the support, I forgot his name.
Super Thig
is also doing very well. I think we forget that Barasan's also really keeping up and keeping that pressure as well too.
Yeah, and Bard is a little bit different than Rakan. Rakan is good on the engage, but he needs a part, he can't be just in there solo or he just gets popped.
Right.
Same with Bard, where you need an initiation and then Bard comes in and it's just wow, Bard looks really, really shines when he has someone in there kind of creating chaos, and then he can pick off and isolate team fights, and that's why he's so good, but difficult to execute. So yeah, the Aatrox has been a huge pick, and I think we've seen him on it once before, but we've seen him more on the Maokai and the Orns, and he's looked good on those. But this Aatrox seems like a really big comfort pick, and he's looked really clean on it. He's had a big CS leads over Megan Foxy in these games, but Megan Foxy's finishing the Triforce, so he is hitting a big power spike here.
Just a little slow, though.
Yeah, it's a little slow.
A little slow because he's already working on his next.
That might have been the difference in some of these team fights, where if they had that little bit of damage, they kill the Ashe, they get a little bit more. And not saying that it's his fault, but it's just that, that little bit of damage sometimes makes a huge difference in if the AD carry's calling for peel or if he's calling for engage or
and his
that
initiations would have been a lot more effective.
Yeah.
With if he had one full item or at least a full item and a half.
Instead of working with pieces, because he did go for the Xyz, then the Tiamat, then the Triforce, and Triforce is very expensive.
It's very expensive.
And we see Bearson on Death Stance, Black Cleaver, and a BF sword. So
going into Guardian.
Yeah, probably Guardian Angel, and I think they have to fight for this. They can't go down to Soul Point here. They have to look to get in here and maybe the and what a beautiful Bard ult.
And now with the stun and.
Yeah, the suplex goes in, and he's on the back line, but we see Bard peeling so well. And Aatrox is just a wild man in the back line. And yeah, these team fights are very split, and he picks up the kill on Aatrox, but we see Unlimited Ninja just being able to rain down on these carries because Wukong and Set don't have the same effect as Aatrox and Olaf. And that's just how... And we saw Bard land the great ultimate, but then after that, he wasn't able to follow up because he was peeling for the Ashe. And he did a great job keeping Ashe alive. And Set doesn't have the damage to kill him, whereas Aatrox does. And Wukong was peeled very effectively.
Like I said, he goes down way too fast. Being an item level behind, item level and a half.
Yeah,
it
doesn't have the tankiness or that Death Stance where like you take 20% less damage over time, and you can really execute these full combos. I'm not even sure if he got a full combo in there.
No,
he did get the second ult.
No, he died. He went away way too fast.
Yeah, and the CC didn't get to who it was intended for. I think Jig and Jack did get to the backline, but with his build, he's got Deadmans and he's got Cinderhulk, so it's not like he's
it was 3v1 during that time.
Yeah, he couldn't absorb the pressure though. Ashe did have to focus him down, but I don't think Ashe was in any real threat. So
not at all.
Yeah, and I really liked how PTC played. It felt like this was a much closer game. Like I feel like just watching it, but just seeing the CS lead. Now we're up to a 6K gold lead. That's almost getting to the point where you can start smacking them with your wallets and really just enforcing your will on teams. But like I said, it feels much closer than. And Super Thick getting kind of caught out here, and they're going to chase him down. And Jig and Jag actually dodges. Well, I am so confused at the interaction there. So Jig and Jag didn't get hit by the ultimate, but Bard did, and it kind of protected him. And FN was there for the cleanup, and they really have Super Thick's back. Any play Super Thick makes, his team is on his back and protecting him. Just like Bard's their carrier or something. Like, no, we must peel our Bard. But they ended up getting a kill off of it, and yeah, we see them just really using this vision as last game. So if you look on bot side, kind of by red buff, on blue side, they do have those deep wards. They have the deep red or pink ward on the new ward by blue buff, which sees any vision getting placed at Baron, which there is none. And we see FN picking up the Baron while Bard was having a good old time trying to get some kills. And really just the Anaconda's just getting tighter and tighter around
going back to
PTC.
what it was last game.
And like you said, this team fighting has just been clean.
It has. FN is doing really well, even though they were behind. Like early game.
Yeah.
But coming back with the mid game,
their farm kept them in.
Yeah, and they did really well focusing on that.
And they didn't give up a whole lot for it. No. It's not like they had to sacrifice dragons to get that CS.
No.
Like sometimes you see someone super behind and they have to give up, your team has to play around it and give up a dragon, give up some pressure so you can get caught up. They didn't have to do that. No. They just won through great laning and great wave manipulation, good back timings, and good communication. And that's something you can't teach.
No.
It just comes from playing a lot and kind of knowing the game. You got to know the game. So, playing together is the biggest thing.
See a little fight coming in.
But holy moly, Bard is OP. Yeah, and Wukong's just going to go down here. You see the frozen thrall from Liss, and Jig and Jag trying to get in the back line, using that big shield.
That Bard just
yeah, and I think Wukong was invisible there.
So,
and we see Aatrox just running down Morgana. Super top of Shinshin going to be putting down Morgana on the Aatrox, looking just like him. He's playing really clean, and yeah, this is just getting hit with the wallets.
It is.
You got 3 completed items, so and a bunch of components. Wukong's thrift shopping. He's got a bunch of components, and Aatrox has 3 completed items, and
Yeah, 2 of them with Guardians.
Yeah, just hitting them with the wall. And you see the TP coming in.
This game may end right here,
it's gonna be game, so another very clean.
game.
And we saw 2 very similar team comps come out from FN this game. PTC took a different approach. The LeBlanc with mid-prio looked really good. It really enabled Jig and Jag to kind of get on the map and make some plays. He got the first 3 crabs, which some junglers would be rage quitting if their team isn't helping them for that many crabs. So very good. And we saw Jin actually they had the clean ace, and that team fight was so well played. And then FN really just adjusted and came back and played. They didn't overextend. I feel like on that team fight they really overextended. They really thinned themselves out, and Jin was able to just systematically just go boom boom, attack one target, and that's where Jin really excels. If he can just focus on one target and just go, I'm gonna attack you, 2, 3, and then the big 4, and he got the quadra kill. How iconic. Jin getting a quadra kill. That's kind of like he's the 4-man, right?
Yeah, so, but FN did really well playing from the slight behind. They were never really behind all game, like unless gold differential, but that was just because of 2 objectives they lost. But FN did really well coming back, getting back the gold differential, playing very patient, very textbook on their clean.
Once again, we saw them play good. We, even with the sub, new AD carry coming in, he popped off on the Felios. He played good. He was on Ashe, which is more of a team champion, but he played really good. He had great arrows, all that stuff. So not missing a beat. With Riskit coming out.
PTC put them on their heels for the first 10, 15 minutes.
And if you compare those 2 games compared to the first time they played, much different game. Game 2, they felt like they were in control. And we even had us popping off with a pentakill. I think that's the most hype I've been. But
and when you called it, I was like, wow.
That was pretty exciting. So next week we have... Any idea? No? I'm not sure. We're going to put it up on the screen again. I think it's EGL and THE since I feel like they haven't played for like a month or 2 months.
EGL hasn't played for a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen them for a while. So see if they've been in the lab putting in some work. Hopefully we get, and we're going to be working on this replay system. We tried it once. We got to see some ARAM, which happens. We weren't sure, but we'll try and figure it out, and we'll probably have it next week. So next week, tentatively 2 p.m., as we usually are, but we've been kind of all over the place. So we'll put it out there and let everyone know.
Keep you guys updated on that.
With that, I think we're going to be heading out, and thanks for stopping by and watching with us. And here's the schedule, and everyone have a good, safe week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye.